consoles and digital games, kind of best practices in maximizing the money spent on these systems. So just to recap a little bit about the LAN center business and consoles, obviously the old way from the beginning, when eBash started, it was the original Xbox, and you grabbed a disc and you stuck it in and the person could play Halo. You take the Halo disc out, you put another disc in, and somebody's playing Skyrim, I remember, was one of the big games that came out. Elder Scrolls, I think it was, the original one on Xbox 360. Didn't matter what it was. Didn't have to install anything. As long as you own the disc, if you owned 15 Xboxes, you could put one disc in any of those 15 Xboxes and the players could play on that one disc. The new way that is becoming an issue for us, and I'll share our plan moving forward, and this is what I suggest for most players or most centers, but the new way is you put a disc into an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 and you have to install that entire disc on the local hard drive for the game to work. Same thing after that, though. 10 Xbox Ones could have Far Cry Primal just came out. So Far Cry Primal could be installed on all 10 Xboxes using that disc or moving it over with hard drives. Then anywhere you put that disc in, any account can play it on those, but you have to have the disc and the game has to be installed. What happens is that we start running into all kinds of different problems, and the way Xbox One and the way PlayStation 4 handle them differently is where some of the issues come into. One thing that we've discovered, and I hope that most LAN centers know this, but there's literally like the world's best secret to save you a lot of money. But both of the new systems have the ability to share, we call it sharing, but to be able to access digital content on two boxes at one time. So I'm going to explain how that works and how we do that at eBash. Xbox One first. So everybody knows with Xbox One, to play a lot of the multiplayer games, you need a gold account. You need to have a $60 a year, Xbox Live Gold subscription to be able to play games in multiplayer. You create an account, eBash number one. eBash One on Xbox Live buys that gold subscription. It goes to one Xbox One, and it downloads whatever it wants, any games it owns, anything else it wants. It has the gold subscription. It makes that Xbox its home box. There's a way to do that in the settings. You go and make this box my home box. You then immediately delete that account off that, and you go to a second Xbox and you recover that one. And that one installed on that system will allow it to play online in any games it owns. And the original one that's the home box can still play any games it owns. The best part about it is that I can come in with my personal account that may or may not be gold, that may not have a subscription. And on either of those boxes, I could sit down, play Black Ops 3, play the newest Star Wars game, whatever it is, and play online as if I'm a gold member, even though my account doesn't have it. So I can track my own progress. Like literally, you can have all your players come into your store, make free Xbox accounts, sit down on those Xboxes and play anything that you've bought digitally and use your gold subscription that you own on all those boxes. Now, here's where the problem starts happening. And right away, you'll realize this at a LAN center is that your game library grows and there's not enough hard drive space on the internal hard drives to be able to handle all those games. So what you have to do is you have to be creative with where you install them, or you have to get external hard drives. So what we do at eBash right now is there's a section of the store that has 8 Xbox Ones. There's another section that has 6, and there's another section on the other side that has 8. So in each of those spaces, we try to isolate certain types of games and have those installed in those. So there's a fixed amount of games on this group of 8. So it might be Destiny, it might be the latest Battlefield, it might be the latest Call of Duty, some of those things on one, and then another section might be all sports games, and another section might be all single-player games. We have a couple big screens that we share fighting games with. So Mortal Kombat, for example, on Xbox One is shared between 2 big screens that have shared Xbox Live Gold accounts between them, so that you only have to buy one digital copy to be able to have it available on both systems at one time. Now, here's where it gets real jacked up. So at eBash, let's say we have our hard drives completely perfect, not a lot of extra space on them, but we have all the games installed and working, and a player comes in with their own disc, or we hand out one of our games that's only on disc and not digital. The player goes and sits down on that Xbox, pops the disc in. The first thing it says is, we need to install this disc. Player hits OK. Next thing it says is, not enough hard drive space. What do you want to delete? Why we can't protect that, why we can't make that require a password, I don't know. I would assume at home, as a dad with my kids, I could see my kids popping a disc in and deleting some game of mine, and I would be upset with. Like, I want controls over who installs and deletes things from my own Xbox, but Microsoft doesn't make that available. So now the little kid at our station can delete Call of Duty Black Ops 3 because he wants to install the latest Minecraft game or whatever he has on his disc. The problem then is that it takes 2 or 3 hours to install a game. So as the kid sits there, he realizes, I'm not going to wait on it, goes back up to the counter, gets another game, comes back up, repeats the process. In the end, there's 5 or 6 half-installed games. They've deleted games off of that we own, that we wanted to be available. So the PlayStation takes it to a whole nother level. The PlayStation has 2 different install versions, whether it's the disc or whether it's the digital game. So we install Black Ops 3 digital on all our PlayStations. A player puts in a Black Ops 3 disc that they own, thinking they need to have the disc to play. They don't realize they can just sign in with their PSN account and play our digital copy. It switches the version on the hard drive to the disc version. And now when the next player comes and sits down and uses our account to try to play the digital version, it says you must re-download the entire game again. And of course, on PlayStation, you can't move things from one PlayStation to another using an external hard drive. So it's a very, very complex situation that you've got to keep track of. You've got to have a nice spreadsheet laid out for your store, know which Xbox, which PlayStation has what installed. But in the end, you can save a lot of money. And this is what eBash is getting ready to do if we go all digital. So just do away with the thought of buying a physical game. It's going to hurt you at first when you think about it, because you want to buy 1 or 2 copies of Madden, the latest Madden football game, and you want it to be available on all 20 of your consoles or all 10 of your consoles. But the sacrifices you have to make to do that with a disc copy are not worth what you can do on the digital side. So bear with me here, and I'm going to go through what we're getting ready to do. We're going to get rid of all of our discs. Like, our plan is to take all of our discs that we've bought over the last couple years, take them to GameStop, take them wherever, get trade-in values. We don't care. We're going to get rid of all of our old discs. We don't want a disc in the store anymore for the current generation. Our Xbox 360 library is massive. We have thousands of titles. We don't have to mess with those for now. But Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and even on the Wii U, we're going completely digital, so that we know we're going to spend $59.99. You can't get the games on sale digitally. You're always going to pay full price. But if you share them correctly, you're actually only paying $30 per game, because you can buy it on one, install it, recover it on another, install it again, and 2 players simultaneously can play that one digital game at the same time.